Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the BinCast. I'm your host, Isaiah, with my two co hosts, MG Naz and B Christian. Welcome back to the BinCast. This is going to be a very good episode today. Can't wait to talk about it. How you guys doing today, MG and B Christian?
Well, I'm doing good, Isaiah. I looked and it's 322 days till Christmas, but
Yes.
I'm excited for that.
It's also going to be another It's going to be another year for another Packers NFC Championship loss. How you doing,
That's
MG?
tough. I'm doing good today. We got some things to talk about, but B Christensen, it's also a year until the Packers reach another and lose another NFC championship. And it's also a year until the Packers lose another NFC championship. And this time Aaron Rodgers will leave the Packers after. So
Going to
this
San
is what
Francisco.
it's 300 days until that happened as well.
That's tragic. I feel like B Christian would cry if Aaron Rodgers left. I think he'd burn all his jerseys. He'd
Nah,
cry.
I would
I feel
not
like
burn the
two
jerseys,
Aaron
but I would cry.
I feel like
He
B
has two
Christian.
Aaron Rodgers jerseys. I don't think both of them are surviving if he leaves.
No,
I
I
feel
have
like B,
one stitched and one non. I want to give away the non-stitched one because that's a throwback, and I only want one throwback
I'm,
jersey to be Don Hudson.
I don't think anybody wants your jerseys. We don't know where those have been.
Goodwill.
That's tough.
Good. I don't even think Goodwill will take your jerseys. But anywho, especially but you know how you said B Christian would cry. I feel like B Christian is the type of crier to the point where he has like
Mhm.
that one booger where it like goes into a bubble and it pops in his face, and he just like keeps on
Yeah.
crying without wiping it off.
Wow.
Okay, but on some serious topic, let's get to this. Let's get to today's episode. MG, you want to start us off today?
Yeah, I'd love to start us off on some NBA talk because
Oh
our
no.
friend B Christensen, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what he said, Isaiah? This guy
The
said the
Bucks.
Cavs are the biggest threat to the Bucks in the Eastern Conference, and the Cavs played the Bucks today,
Yes, we
and
did.
the Bucks beat the Cavs by a lot. And they do at the time of this recording, it is Friday night, so this is the Friday game. They play again Saturday.
Yes, they do.
The Bucks and the Cavs do. So we'll see what happens then. But as of right now, the Cavs look 10 times better to the Bucks look 10 times better than the Cavs, and the Cavs look like no threat to the Bucks. So this just makes B Christensen's take worse. And I just hate how you can just say something so bad and disrespect teams like the Brooklyn Nets, disrespect the 1 seed 76ers. This just pains me. It just brings me and Isaiah back to the day you disrespected all these other teams and you just only brought up the Cavs, man. This just is so disrespectful, dude.
Well, to
So
add on your
disrespectful.
point, they did beat the Nets twice, but the Sixers were disrespected. I'll give you that. And I think the Pacers were disrespected, even though we blew them out by 10. Cough, cough. But anyways,
Yeah,
You're just gonna forget about the Celtics, all right?
the
eh.
Celtics too, man. Jason Tatum,
Fuck, I
Jalen
did.
Brown.
Yeah, I was just thinking like,
Golly, dude.
aren't it? Who won that game tonight? That's between the Celtics.
The Celtics won the game. Jason Tatum had such a great game.
He did. I know Tatum's been going downhill recently. Like, yeah, he's been in a slump, and it's been the
Yeah.
Jalen. Not fuck the shit.
Jason Tatum has had an up and down season,
Yeah,
is what you're trying to say.
yeah, up
He
and
he was
down.
out for like what 2 weeks
I think
for
so.
like COVID or injury,
But
and then he came
yeah,
back and he kind of played bad, but now he's playing well. He's starting to play well, and
yeah,
that's what you want to see out of a talented player
I
like
agree.
Tatum. They won by 4 tonight,
Yeah,
119 to 115 over the
Tatum
Los
had
Angeles Clippers.
34 tonight.
Jason
Yep.
Tatum to the Lakers. He's not gonna win in Boston.
Okay, buddy.
Okay,
Okay.
you say
Maybe
that
when
about
LeBron retires.
everything.
Yeah. And so far, at least when I take takes, they ain't wrong.
You know, this take right
If
there
LeBron
is just
retires,
wrong.
Hey,
if
you
LeBron
never know.
retires, you know how Magic Johnson said Luca to the Lakers when LeBron retires?
Mhm.
I have a feeling that actually might happen if the Mavericks keep playing horrible like they are right now. And they continue to do that for seasons and seasons. Luca to the Lakers when LeBron retires might not be a bad take.
Him with AD finally having a good defense around him and a big man like AD. Oh, he's
Mhm.
gonna terrorize the league,
Yeah, it'll be scary. But
and he'll finally win the title.
He will not be, and you know, they would choke the lead.
You know what? I have a feeling that
What?
the Lakers are gonna win 5 more titles before the before the Bucks win one.
I can see
I
that.
can almost agree with that.
That could happen very easily, but I disagree. I think we're gonna win one, at least one with Giannis. I don't think we're gonna be a
Well, here's
dynasty,
the thing.
but
You
we're destined to win one. We have to.
you say
You're
5 titles
destined.
before the Bucks win one,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah,
Well, I think the Lakers are winning the title. It's either well, other than my Sixers, I think the Lakers are winning the title the next 2 years. So that's 2 titles before the Bucks get one. If the year after that, if the Bucks don't win the championship around like 2023, 2024, they're going to be screwed because in 2023, it's the NBA are allowing high school players, if you're
yeah,
good enough, to go to the draft again, like how Kobe came out. So if the Bucks don't win it in the next 2 to 3 years, they're going to be screwed because all these young teams with a lot of great young talent are going to be coming up. Teams like the Cavs are actually going to be ready. So the Eastern Conference is very young
it
right
is.
now with the Cavs, the Knicks, the Pacers.
Mm-hmm.
But so the Bucks, I feel like the East is going to get harder, and that makes the Bucks' chances less at winning the
Yeah,
finals. I don't think they'll win five. The Lakers will win five before the Bucks win one, but I think the Lakers will win about two
I, I
before the Bucks get one.
I actually have. I think the Lakers will win it this year if they do not get eliminated by.
Eliminate.
You know what I mean. But I think the team that would eliminate the Lakers this year would be the Utah Jazz because the Jazz are playing unbelievable right now. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I think if it's going to be one of those two teams in the finals from the West. I don't see the Nuggets. I don't see the Clippers. I don't see um the Warriors. Like I think the two teams that are proving like they're the best from the West are the Jazz and
I
the
mean, you still
Clippers.
can't. I get that. I always disrespect the the fucking I'm blank. I have a
Clippers,
blank right now. I'm blank right now.
Clippers.
Yeah, the Clippers. I always disrespect them, but the simple fact is you can't count them out. There's even
Yeah.
though with the Clippers you
Hmm.
can't count them out,
Yeah,
and they're gonna beat a team like Utah that
Hmm.
defensively,
that is
I
true.
believe one of the best teams defensively in the West. And you never know with
Yeah,
Utah. You never know
you.
because
I
they
agree.
they tend to lose a lot when it comes to big moments.
Yeah, they'll literally go
Yeah.
from
Hmm.
blowing the Bucks up by 30 to losing to the Nuggets in Game 7. Like the Utah Jazz are unpredictable, but if they played like they are recently, I think the Jazz are a huge threat in the West. Like I'm not saying they're the biggest. I think the biggest threat in the West is gonna be the Lakers. I think they're favored, of course. But there's
Hmm.
also like teams that I know you haven't been thinking are unpredictable that could catch you by surprise.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, you keep
I mean,
saying
the
all this.
Jazz.
Before you continue, but because you know you just right now you were saying that there's a possibility. Well, the other day before this all started, you said that the Lakers were gonna lose.
I
So
did.
so you want to keep your guns to that?
Yeah, I'll hold it. You know what? I'll hold myself to that. My
All
prediction
right.
before the season, before the playoffs, right now, I have the
Hmm.
Utah Jazz beating the Lakers in 7 games.
Okay.
If I'm
Well,
wrong,
the
I'm wrong.
Jazz.
Like that
If
takes
you're
way
wrong, I'm
more
gonna carve you.
plausible than the Cavs one. I want to get that clear.
Well, the Jazz are the 1 seed right now.
Yeah,
They won their game on Friday night today, 138 to 121,
against
and
who?
they're 18-5 and first in the West. So, B. Christensen, your take's not looking too bad. It's obviously better than the Cavaliers' take,
Anything's better
but
than that.
I just think when it comes down to the playoffs,
Hmm.
I just think LeBron playoff LeBron
He's
is what
hard.
I said this year about playoff Brady. Like I said, the Packers will struggle a little bit because they're going against one of the greatest playoff quarterbacks of all time.
Yeah,
If the Jazz face the Lakers, they're going to be going against one of the greatest playoff NBA players ever. So the playoffs with the Jazz, I mean, and they choked a 3-1 lead last year.
they
I just can't
did.
trust them to beat the Lakers
Hmm.
in the playoffs, man. I
Yeah,
can't do it.
don't get me wrong. I'm not going to discredit the Lakers. This like I did with every other team. These with the Jazz. The Lakers are a good team.
Hmm.
Like they built a good team. Like I honestly before like the season started, I thought the Lakers were going to go on a decline. They built their
Hmm.
team back out and showed me that they're not. Like I think the Lakers are going to be a 1 or 2 seed. I'm not sure because the Jazz are unpredictable too, so they could take the 1 seed. I think it will be a good series when the Lakers Jazz play, and I think the Jazz will come up on top.
What if they don't even play? What if it's for the first time in fucking franchise history, the Clippers finally don't jump in a divisional and they finally get to a conference finals?
Then you can I will come on here when it happens and say I was wrong.
I'm gonna shit on you for like the next 7 days.
That's tough.
I'm doing this. You haven't shit on me for my other takes I made in the NFL
What other takes have you made?
about the Cardinals.
Well, that was just a given. I've been telling you that you not believe that, but I gave you shit before the cameras, before we started doing this, so
True.
it's fine right there. And
The Cardinals, yeah.
that's it. And
It's gonna be interesting this playoffs with the West though.
Because do you want to be known for the bad takes or like
This take isn't even bad, like if you think about it.
But like you just make all the risky takes that could backfire on you.
I love them hot takes, MG.
Oh wait. Also, he said the Bills will beat the Chiefs in the AFC Championship.
I did say before the season started that the Bills would go to the Super Bowl because I was high. Because I was high on my boy Micah Hyde. I really want to see him win a ring.
you're just biased.
Micah Hyde, a strong safety that used to play for the Packers. Free safety, my bad. Jordan Poyer's the strong safety.
Yeah. I love Micah Hyde.
You made that prediction because of a 31-year-old free safety that used to play for the Packers.
I want to see him get a ring. I was like 2016 was our best chance at getting Micah Hyde a ring. We also could have got to Casey Hayward a ring his rookie season in 2014. But we're NFC chokers.
Yep. And now Casey Hayward is with Titans, actually.
I thought he was with the...
No, I'm sorry. That's Desmond King. Casey Hayward's with the Chargers.
Yeah, I was about to say, isn't he with the Chargers?
Casey Hayward, he's in a great secondary too.
Oh yeah,
he's in a secondary core with Chris Harris Jr., Derwin James Jr. So that's some great guys.
Yeah, that's a good secondary around him.
But before we move over to football completely, last thing about basketball, B. Christensen. Another thing about your Bucks take that you made earlier about them being the biggest threat. Well, the Bucks right now aren't even the biggest threat to the real one seed, the Sixers.
Yeah,
y'all aren't even the biggest threat. The biggest threat to the Sixers right now is the Boston Celtics.
Technically,
in my opinion,
we are even because you lost to the Blazers the other day. We blew out the Trailblazers. And I know MG was hurt for like...
We're not about to do this. You beat them, we lost to them.
I know. I just want to say, I would not...
We're the top team.
Like, I think the two biggest threats to you
is the Celtics and the Nets.
I don't think the Nets. I think the Bucks, because the Nets don't have a defense. No. Look at what happened the other day. I think. What team was it?
Well, the other day they beat the Clippers and played great defense.
But look at what happened today. They let the Raptors shit on them. They beat the Clippers. Yeah, but they lost. KD was out. Yeah, KD was out. I'll give you that. But they lost to the Wizards.
Okay. The Wizards have Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook.
I know. I'm looking
two all-star caliber players. Russell Westbrook had 41. Bradley Beal had 37. You're inevitable to lose games like that when two players drop 35 plus.
That is true.
And I understand that the Nets defense is questionable, but I think they're a bigger threat to us than the Bucks, because the one thing about the Nets is that they're always going to have the experience over us in the playoffs, because KD has been in the playoffs more than us. Kyrie and Harden, they've been in the playoffs more than us. Even though Harden has choked, you got two championship players in KD and Kyrie who's won the championship before. And Giannis hasn't won the championship before or done great things in the playoffs. So I think the Nets in the playoffs will be a bigger threat to the Sixers. Yeah. I think they could even overtake us as the one seed before the season's over. And same with the Celtics. Why are the Celtics a bigger threat? Because they actually are our rivals, and our rivals know us the best. So the Celtics will know us the best.
That's why I did put Boston in there. I'll give you that. Like, I did put Boston. I knew that because you and Boston have a historical rival. Like, that's the thing.
Rivalry. Not rival.
Yeah, whatever. But I feel like you're counting out the Bucks. Like,
I'm not gonna count them out, but I just think the Celtics and Nets are a bigger threat to us than you guys.
I'm just making sure. It kind of did sound like you were, because you were saying no. Like, You're not.
Well, I'll
So
say this: the
If
Bucks,
I just want to double check.
the Bucks
if
are a
I'm
great team. I just think the Nets and Celtics are.
Mm,
I'm scared of the Nets and Celtics more than I would be scared of the Bucks in the playoffs because you guys haven't shown me
yeah,
any proof to pick you guys over us in the playoffs
yeah,
or in any regular season when sometimes we blow you guys out. It's like I feel like we can beat you
yeah.
more confidently than we can beat those other teams.
That's why I'm kind of
um
mad we don't play each other this season because
Well,
I
the first
really
half
want to.
we don't play each other.
Yeah, not in the first half. I'll be surprised if we don't play in the second half because
you're
We
gonna
should.
play in
yeah,
the second half.
we should.
But the MG, you say you don't think you think my bad. I'm sorry. You think that the Bucks
Mhm.
are a threat? I don't think they are. I
No,
honestly
he
don't think
said
that
they
they are.
aren't. He
They
said
aren't.
that.
No,
I'm saying they could possibly be from what they've shown this season. This season
I
they can be a threat, but right now I'm taking Brooklyn and Boston over them
Yeah,
as
and
the
I
big
agree.
threat.
And when the playoffs start, and I'm still going to stand by this, Brooklyn, and the Celtics are going to be a bigger threat to you guys than
hmm
the Bucks will ever be this season. And I'm going to stand by this. You quote me on this, whatever you
I
want.
will.
But I
Hmm.
really think you guys are going to be a first round exit.
I do
They
not
could
think first round exit.
depends
I
on who
think
they
the
play.
earliest we'll
If
exit
you
is
guys
a
if
second
you
round.
guys play a fifth or fourth seed, you guys are a first round exit.
I don't think so.
If you guys play, I think if y'all play like a Pacers, they could get y'all.
Well,
The
see,
Pacers could potentially,
yeah,
possibly,
I can see the Pacers potentially get us, but I'm also looking back on the game we played against Pacers, and we won.
yeah,
Let me go back. Like we won against them. So
yeah.
it was 130 to 110. That team was healthy. We were
But
healthy. Like ish. Like they were missing one key player, but they've been without him
yeah,
the whole year. That's why I do not see
mhm.
the Pacers. Like I think the
But
Pacers like will have a huge step next year when they're
And
mhm,
there's
fully healthy and shit.
there's one
I
team that I feel like people aren't counting out. Even I have done this too. The Miami Heat, even though as of right now they're not playing as
hmm
the best of all, they're still going to be there at the end of the year because right
mhm,
now they're still trying to heal up from that
Yeah,
championship run.
mhm,
You can never just count out the Heat right now.
you're right.
mhm.
I
And I said
did
this.
totally forget about the Heat. Like that
I
team's
said that
scary.
too about Miami on my YouTube channel, my Eastern Conference prediction video. I said Miami's going to start off slow. They're going to start the season off slow because they have, they had injuries leaving the bubble, like Goran Dragic. Bam wasn't 100% healthy.
Yeah,
Jimmy was carrying the team. So, the Heat, I knew they were going to start off slow. And Miami Heat, if they do play a team like the Sixers in the first round, a team like the Bucks, a team like the Celtics, they can be a really big threat
they can
because they
be.
have the championship experience, they have the playoff pedigree, and they have the fight in them. But right now, they're starting off kind of slow. And I think, Isaiah, you may be right. They might be there at the end of the season in the playoffs fighting to
Yeah.
beat these top teams because, like I said, they have the championship experience and they know what they have to
Mm.
do and they know what it takes to win big
I
games.
I'm looking at the
And
Miami Heat right now. They're 13th in the East. They're 8-14, but they are coming off a win from yesterday against the Wizards. I just want to say that.
and
Hmm.
also what's it called again? Fuck. Damn, you also gotta realize that damn, I forgot what I was gonna
I
say.
forgot what you were going to
Jesus.
say.
Oh, the
This is
Indiana Pacers. Also with the Indiana
Mhm.
Pacers, I want Indiana to win, but Indiana's cursed. There's if you play Indiana, you're gonna win. Indiana, when it comes to the fucking playoffs, they're always cursed. They couldn't win with Paul George and that amazing crew that they had in the early
That was, yeah, early Paul
2010s
George.
with
Yep.
early Paul George. They couldn't win. They couldn't win last year. Injury. They're cursed. In my opinion, they're really cursed.
Yeah.
But
Injury curse.
the
Yeah.
injury
They're,
curse. The injury gets to
mhm.
them.
So you're saying
Hmm.
they're like the Clippers, the East?
No, they're not the
No,
Clippers.
the Clippers have a curse of being healthy and losing. The Pacers last year,
Yeah.
they were missing Sabonis, which is their top
Sabonis.
rebounder and one of their top scorers in the playoffs. And then the Paul George era, I think they might have been healthy that year,
I
but
think they were. They just choked.
the Clipper curse, they can't even get past the second round. They can't even win second round playoff games. They can't even make it to the conference finals and the conference championship
Hmm.
Yeah.
to even get close to the finals. But the
We'll
Pacers might
see.
be on a little curse. Every time they go to the playoffs,
Yeah.
they don't do that good.
Like I want to see the Pacers win it too. Like if it's not the Bucks, at least like for Brogdon. Like I was a huge Brogdon fan back when he was in Milwaukee. I actually wanted to resign
Mhm.
him over Middleton because Brogdon was healthier and showed more potential, in my opinion, than Middleton did. But we went with
Mhm.
Brogdon. I mean with Middleton. So I would like to see Brogdon win it.
Yeah, Malcolm Brogdon's having a good year. He might
He
be an All Star this year.
he is. I would love to have him win it. Like I'll be happy for him. I would be.
Yep, most definitely. But anything else you boys want to speak on as far as NBA
Yeah,
goes?
as far as NBA goes, I don't really got anything else. You, Big Christian?
B. Christian?
I
Any
just want.
last retarded on taste you want to take before?
Where are? Let me guess. Wait, one of your hot takes is that the Bulls are gonna win the finals.
No, maybe in three
Oh,
years. 3 years. I give them 3 years to be
No,
the
no.
contenders.
Zach Levine may
I
not
would,
even be there in 3 years.
If the
if someone
Bulls are healthy, can resign people, they could be a threat in 3 years.
listen. In 3 years, if the Bulls don't make the finals, I'm gonna somehow back and find this episode and just say,
Well,
"Hey, Beakers,
I'm not gonna forget about this, so I'll keep it
yeah,
in check.
3 years,
yeah."
that might.
Isaiah's not gonna forget.
Hey, who knows what could happen in 3 years?
Hey, who
I'll call you
knows?
from
But
your army base, bitch.
yeah, if you want to go to the
You
army,
call me for my army base.
Yeah.
hey, listen, dog. Whatever we have to do to remember this, I know Isaiah's not gonna forget this because Isaiah doesn't forget any bad takes. So, any bad takes, B. Christensen, that we need to remember?
Fuck. Um, I just want to say Isaiah in 3 years gonna like go with Syria, just Syria in the middle of the desert, just be like, "Hey, you're wrong," and then leave.
And then
But
I'm gonna go record the podcast with MG while you're
yeah,
serving our country.
Yeah.
hey, it's still your country.
It's a
But
win-win.
hey, I have a question for this episode, and I know this guy's like the big part of the thumbnail.
Hmm.
As we
Uh,
move on to NFL, if Tom Brady wins the Super Bowl, or even if he doesn't, even if he loses this year, is he the greatest player and the best winner in sports history? I've
MG.
seen this on an
Mm,
ESPN clip earlier. I've seen this on an ESPN clip, and it kind of caught my attention. So I just wanted to ask you guys:
yeah.
do you guys think that Brady is the greatest player, not just in the
Mm.
NFL, but in all sports?
I'll
You
go
know, winning
first.
6 championships and all that.
Yeah, I'll go first here. MG, you're wrong. The goat of all sports is Iguodala. No, seriously. No, I think it was going to be between him, Tiger, and Jordan. Those are going to be the three contenders.
Yeah.
If he wins it,
Hmm.
I think you have a better argument than if he doesn't, because it's going to be hard for Tom
Hmm.
Brady fans to top Jordan's three-peat. Like, no, I cannot think of like someone in like the NFL, NBA, like MLB, NHL who actually did a three-peat off the
But
Yeah.
top
who?
off the top of my head.
Bill Russell, I think.
Bill
Maybe
Yeah,
Russell, I
Bill
believe,
Russell.
went 9 peat.
Yeah, Bill Russell did win like 10 straight finals.
Yeah.
But to be fair, Bill Russell was playing against janitors and teachers.
Well, you also
Hmm.
have to think about it. Did he do it all for one team?
Yes, with the
He did.
Celtics.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So, Bill Russell can be up there too.
And I want to say
But
this too.
mhm,
Jordan made the NBA more of a dunking league too.
he did.
Like Tom Brady, what he's known for, it's a pocket. You don't see the NFL going into pocket, like pocket
And that's the
passers.
thing. You see guys like Tiger Woods who made change golf to what it is today. Now people actually go to golf tournaments and go out there and you see NFL players retire and go play golf. Like Tiger Woods, as far as him being one of the greatest athletes in sports, he made golf relevant. He made golf
Yeah,
a sport that people actually like. And with Brady, you say like how Jordan he kind of changed the game as far as how people play the game, and
played
that's
it.
true. you, Jordan rules. That was literally a quote.
Yeah.
That it was Jordan rules. He changed the game, and Brady didn't necessarily change the
Mm,
game, kind of like how Jordan did with and Tiger Woods did. But Tom Brady, when it comes down to it, he is a winner,
he is.
and he has won so many titles. And I kind of agree with you. If he wins a title this year, it'll make him a better case as being the greatest athlete
Mm,
ever. But I feel like even now you can still make a case for Brady being
And
one of the
I
greatest
want to,
athletes.
yeah, I want to add something to that too. In with Jordan, you don't see the controversies that Tom Brady has, like Deflate Gate.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't
Deflate
see
Gate.
that with Jordan. That's another thing too
Mm-hmm.
that people are going to be like these Jordan fans. I'm not saying like I don't see any clear evidence about it because like
Mm-hmm.
I don't care anymore. Like it's in the past. It
Yeah.
didn't affect my team. I don't think it happened. But you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
have these fans, like these player fans, say, "Oh, but Brady, he had the Deflategate to win some of his. They were
Mm-hmm.
Spygate. He had the Tuck rule. Like he had all these shit, and you
All
didn't see
these,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, you didn't see anything with Jordan. That's gonna
Mm-hmm.
happen. But at the end of the day, look what Brady did today. Like this year, he is 41 or 42 or 43, one of them three, and
Mm-hmm.
he's taking a team
43.
into the Super Bowl. Home field advantage, first time in NFL history. Team will have home
Mm-hmm.
field advantage at the Super Bowl, and he did it without any controversy. The biggest controversy was Brady Belichick, who made who.
Mm-hmm.
And at the beginning of the
Well,
season, I will say this, I thought it was Belichick. I thought it was coaching, but I was wrong. Brady proved me wrong. I'll say that.
Mm-hmm. Isaiah, you
MG,
want to
you
go?
want to go? I think I'll go last.
Well, the only thing I want to add to it kind of is just like I said, how Tiger Woods and Brady, I
Mm-hmm.
mean Tiger Woods and Jordan kind of, did a lot for their sports. And one thing I do want to say about Jordan that people might not know is that, and when he was drafted, the NBA was such a drug invested league. It was a bad league. It was going downhill. When Michael Jordan came into the NBA, he changed the league. The league got better.
That's right.
The new NBA commissioner Howard Stern, uh, him and Jordan took the NBA to a next level, and that's another thing people have to realize. I love Brady. I think he's the goat, and he could be up there for the goat of all sports. But Jordan did so much for basketball. I'm gonna
He did.
say that Brady is the GOAT of all sports because one thing we can say about Brady is when he got older, he went to a new team, he didn't make a championship. Tiger Woods, he got older, he kind of fell off. And
He won a title though. He
He
did win a
did win a
he did win
championship.
title.
a title like what in the last year or two.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
did come back with a title, but he's not the same anymore. But when he got older, it just seems like Brady never lost a step this season, and that's one thing I can say. Because when these guys get old, they get washed up. Like Montana, when he got old, he couldn't make a championship run.
He
When
he was
guys like
right
Joe
there.
Montana got old, they
yeah.
couldn't make a championship run. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, he's getting older. He hasn't done enough to be up there in the conversation. When you look
He's
at
not.
Brady, he's old. He has a COVID season, no practice, new team, and he still did this. And I think that's going to help him.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm going to choose him as the GOAT of all sports
I
because he dealt with adversity this season at a 43-year-old age when you're supposed to be washed up and did what Michael Jordan couldn't and carry a team at the age of 40.
I also want to say this though. Look at what Brady had to this year at weapons though. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Gronk,
But he had no
AB,
chemistry with them
all
because he
arguable
had no
like number one targets.
he didn't have no training camp. Well, he did. He had like what a 2 week training camp,
They
and
did
he
have
couldn't
training camp at the
practice with
beginning of the
them.
year, but
He
they
had
did
no
not
chemistry
have
with his
OTAs.
receivers.
Yeah, but if you
Yeah,
look at it, that team did have a rocky start. Like they started picking up at the end of the
and
season because of no
and
training camp. I want to say that though.
and he had no training camp, no chemistry with his receivers, no chemistry with his coach. Y'all remember in the middle of the season, people were talking about how Bruce Arians isn't using Brady right. Like he had all this adversity this year. And yes, he had great weapons. Antonio Brown, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Rob Gronkowski, Leonard Fournette, Ronald Jones. They're all great. But at the end of the day, the adversity, and he had a new running back in Leonard Fournette. So he had to deal with the
Yeah,
adversity
and
more than any other
mhm,
player had to deal with.
in the beginning of the season too, it wasn't Brady who was winning them games though. It was Ronald Jones. Because look at that Green Bay
Yeah,
game.
he was doing
It
great.
was Ronald Jones. But when I'm not going to discredit Brady, they had an amazing season. Brady picked it up in the second half that got them to this. But when they started getting their chemistry was after their blowout loss to the Saints. That's when they
The
started picking it
Saints.
up. So I think like if he would have had a full training camp, he would have been like this all year. This is a good debate to have, like who's the best. And
Mhm.
I'm gonna let Isaiah go. No.
Who
What
do
do
you
you think?
choose as your GOAT of all sports?
Yeah.
Brady, Jordan, Tiger Woods?
Okay. Well, I'm gonna agree with you on the first part. If he doesn't win, I don't think he's the greatest of all time in all major sports. But if Tom Brady wins this Super Bowl, he's the greatest to ever do it. There's no question about it. I understand what Jordan did, what Tiger did for their individual
Sports.
sports, but you gotta look at this. When it comes to being legendary, you gotta also look at championships. You gotta look at what they've done in their career, the records they broke, what they done, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tom Brady, at the ages that he is doing way more success. He literally look at in his final this is probably not his final year. In this year, he knocked out Aaron Rodgers. He knocked out Drew Brees out of the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Two of the best quarterbacks to live.
Mm-hmm.
Um, who just does that? Who just goes from being in the AFC for 20 years to going to 1 year in the NFC and beating the two of the best quarterbacks in the league?
Mm-hmm.
Who does that?
Mm-hmm.
And then the simple fact, and also this, that he gets to go to the Super Bowl at home. No one has ever done that. No one has
No.
ever done that.
And he's the oldest quarterback to start a Super Bowl
He
at
Yeah.
43.
And and it's maybe all the children's blood that he eats that keeps him super young. But when Jordan got older, he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
When he was on the Wizard, he didn't take the Wizards to no finals.
Yup.
What is Brady doing right now? He's in the championship game at home.
Mm-hmm.
At home. Who
proves
says
that.
that? Who
Yeah.
could say that in the NFL?
No one.
Who could say that? No
And
one besides him. And the simple fact is that I get that he has a better team right now than he's had in
Mm-hmm.
previous pasts. No, I wouldn't say that. I would not say that. I think that 2007
2007
squad
Randy
was one of the
Moss
best.
squad.
yeah.
That defense was good as well.
But you also got to look at Tom Brady is just he was perfect. He was built perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to think right now what I could say,
Except
but
for his running ability, he
Yeah.
wasn't.
except for his running ability,
Unless if
catching
he's
ability.
unless if he's playing
Yeah, his
Brian
catching
Urlacher,
ability.
then he can do
Yeah,
anything.
Yeah.
some magical reason he could just break Brian Urlacher's ankles.
That's my
Um,
favorite thing to say to Bears.
Maybe that's why Brian Urlacher's just retarded right now.
True. He's
He
still
But
is.
we're not gonna get
suffering
into
from
that.
Brady
Brady.
has broken a lot of records, and he's done a lot of
He
things at
has.
his age. And
Exactly. And then who could just go? Who could just like? Also, this who hates Jordan? Who hates Jordan? Let's be real.
LeBron fans.
Besides LeBron fans, no one.
no,
No one.
But if you go to the NFL, who's the most hated person in the NFL besides Roger
Tom
Goodell?
Brady.
For me, the Bears.
Shut up.
Well, not for you, but just in general.
Oh, overall,
Like who's
The
the
Brady.
most
general.
hated?
Brady.
It is
Brady.
Brady.
Yeah.
The
I don't.
Brady
Dolphins
has
fans
gone
hate him.
through so much
Jets
hate through
fans
his
hate him.
whole career to the
Yup.
point where he's in his 10th championship game. Not even Jordan could say he went to 10 championship games.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I get all that Jordan did everything. He got two guys next to him with Scottie Pippen
Dennis
and
Rodman.
damn, what is his name? Fuck.
Dennis
Dennis
Schroeder.
Rodman.
Dennis Schroeder.
Oh,
Not Dennis Schroeder,
fuck.
bro.
What?
Yeah, Dennis Schroeder did definitely play in the 90s. So, but
Dennis Rodman.
Dennis Rodman
Yeah.
played.
He also had Steve Kerr too, who wasn't
Yeah,
bad.
and
Steve Kerr. He had Charles Oakley. He had great guys.
yeah, he did. And I'm not gonna say this. Maybe this is stupid if I'm saying this, but I think I kind of for a while Tom Brady's never selfish. Have you ever seen Tom Brady be selfish?
No, he literally after
No.
he beat the Chiefs in the playoffs with Mahomes his first year in the playoffs, he literally went up to him after the game and told and like gave him advice, and that advice helped him next
Yep.
year
He
beat the
walked into
Niners
the
in the
Chiefs. He
Super Bowl.
walked to the Chiefs locker room. He went to Mahomes and he said, "Dude, like I wanted to come back and tell you what I thought you should do." And that was great, man. That was great
He
because
went to help him.
people gave him
And
advice.
and like his besides the cheating scandals and everything, Tom Brady is like one of the nicest players you'll ever.
He is.
Sometimes he could be sore loser at times too, but
Sort of sometimes, yes.
but I feel like Jordan is like is a good guy but isn't. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? I feel
Yeah,
like
he's like a villain
he is. He is.
on
He's
the
a good
court. On
villain.
the
He's a
court,
good
he's a
villain.
villain. Yeah.
I think with Brady, he's always taking these pay cuts to make his team better around him. That's a championship winner.
Yep.
When you do
Mhm.
shit like that, you're a championship. You're a champion, and shit
Yep.
like that, you know. And then again, going into the NFC his first year, who the fuck does
Mhm.
that? Who goes to Super Bowl your first year in the NFC?
Beat out
I
the
mean,
legend of
Drew
that.
yeah,
Brees didn't do it when he left from San Diego to New Orleans.
and exactly. Look at that. Look at that. Look at he knocked out Drew Brees, who's probably like 2 years younger than him, and
Mhm.
still could throw the ball.
Mhm.
He could throw it
But yeah.
better than
Yep.
Breeze.
Hmm.
And look at the guys who's Brady's beaten in his Super Bowl career. He's beaten Russell Wilson on the grand stage, young Russell Wilson, and the Legion of Boom. He beat Kurt Warner, Donovan McNabb. Those are Hall of Fame quarterbacks. Hall of Fame quarterbacks that
Oh,
he beat. He
he
beat the Brian Dawkins, one of the greatest safeties ever, in the Super Bowl in his
he,
prime.
he beat technically his team did beat Julio Jones.
Technically, yeah. Oh, yeah. Another thing is too
Matty
that
Ice.
Atlanta defense that year, led by Keanu Neal, Ricardo Allen, Vic Beasley. He beat the top ranked Atlanta defense the year
Whoosh,
that they
yeah.
came back 28-3.
And I want to say that defense, like 2 weeks before, blew out Aaron Rodgers and the Packer team, who
Yep,
everyone thought would
dude,
go.
that defense was stacked, dude. You had what Keanu Neal, Deion Jones, Grady Jarrett,
Vic
Vic
Beasley
Beasley.
when he was great.
Yeah,
Yeah, when Vic Beasley was good. Like Tom Brady has beat great defenses, Hall of Fame quarterbacks. He's done it all, man. Now I'm not saying Michael Jordan didn't, because Michael Jordan beat the Utah Jazz. Basically is the reason why the Patrick Ewing Nixon won a title. He beat the Lakers for his first. He beat Hall of Fame guys. But
Jordan
Tom
also
Brady
stopped
doing it
dynasties.
against great defenses and great quarterbacks, man. I mean, it doesn't get no better than what Tom Brady has done in his NFL career. And I think Tom Brady, you know what? I think he's the GOAT of all sports. And yeah, man. But it's definitely a great debate to have. And I just found that interesting that people don't have these debates. They have like the LeBron and MJ debate, or they have the Brady Montana debate. But
yeah.
when you talk about sports, man, I think it's great to have a debate of all sports, like who's the greatest in all sports. And I think that is Tom Brady.
Oh, and let's not also forget he beat Saxonville, one of the best defenses
Oh yeah, that
in a very
Saxonville
long.
defense
According
and
to
the
Saxonville.
comeback.
Yahoo,
He beat the Rams defense and the most
The Aaron Donald.
defensive
Yep.
Super Bowl
in the
ever.
best Super Bowl ever, in my opinion. Hot take. I actually like that. I'm not lying.
I
I
like it.
love that.
I
I
like
loved
it.
it.
I like this. I like this Super Bowl too, but it's not the best Super Bowl
It.
ever.
I think
Yeah.
it's a good one. I think it's very underrated because of how low
The low
scoring it.
scoring, yeah.
Hmm.
I
Low,
hate when people don't appreciate the good old defensive battles.
and let's
Yeah.
not, and let's not forget, even though Jordan never lost, when Brady lost championships, he bounced right back. He bounced
Hmm.
right
The
back.
year after he
Whenever
wins.
when everybody discounts Brady, he's the best that he could be. Look at this year.
Hmm.
Everybody counted Brady out. I did. I said that. Oh, it was a
I did
fucking Bill
too.
Belichick. That was the reason why he was a winner. Nah, now he's
Hmm.
in the Super Bowl. Bill Belichick's in his little office with his dog making draft picks.
That's tough. But I also
That's
want
tough.
to add on something too. You were talking about all the people he beat from the NFC. You're all forgetting he beat
Hmm.
Big Ben, P- A-
He
Peyton
did
Peyton Manning. Like he beat
in the
two
AFC.
legends,
Yep.
and he even
Two
beat
legends.
young Patrick Mahomes too in the AFC
Yep.
Championship game at Kansas City with full fans.
And
Like
At
now he could
Arrowhead. Yep.
he could end the old head legacy of the pocket quarterback, the pocket passer,
Hmm.
to a new era. Because if he wins, I think honestly, I think this era is already dead, the pocket passer. But
The
I
pocket
agree.
Tom Brady,
passer.
he
Yeah.
wins one more time. That's it. The pocket
Hmm.
passer era is over.
I
Yep.
agree. It.
Now.
I'm
Okay.
excited for this game, but I'm mad I gotta
Hmm.
work it. Oh my
Man,
Oh yeah, you have to
gosh.
work during this game.
Yeah.
okay. On the topic of quarterbacks and
Hmm.
situations, and we're gonna stick in the NFC. Jared Goff,
Ooh.
Matthew Stafford
Yep.
have new homes now.
Hmm.
Matthew Stafford getting traded to the this hurts my heart to the Los Angeles Rams,
Rams.
and Jared Goff is going to the Detroit. How do you guys feel about this, MG?
Um, Dude, it caught me by surprise. I was watching what? No, I was finished watching a game, NBA, and I was about to go to sleep. And my uncle told me Jared Goff for Matthew Stafford. So first I thought it was a straight up deal, and I said, that's not bad, Rams. But two first round picks and Jared Goff. Jared Goff was a first round pick, so you basically gave up three first round picks for Matthew Stafford. Now I understand that Stafford is better than Jared Goff, but the fact that he is 30 years old, over 30 years old, and he's taken so many hits in his career, he's been banged up and injured. You pay two first round picks for that guy, and you're going to be having a big contract. You better win now for the LA Rams, because at least with Jared Goff, like I said, he's not better than Stafford, but he's younger and he still has time to improve. With Stafford, you have no time to improve. You have to win now. If you don't win now, you're
Mm-hmm.
screwed, because you got young teams like the young defense of the 49ers led by Bosa and Warner. You got Russell Wilson in that division with DK, Tyler Lockett, and Wilson. You got the young Arizona Cardinals with DeAndre Hopkins, Kyler Murray, Buda
First
Baker.
half game.
You have young guys in this division who still have something to prove. The Rams have to win now. That's what I get from this trade. You have to win now.
Mm-hmm.
There's also this fun fact. Since 2016, the Rams from 2016 to now only have one of their first round picks still on their team. That's Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald.
Mhm.
Mhm.
That's tough. I wanna go next. I love this trade from
Mhm.
both teams. For the Packers, I want to say, because I'm happy Stafford's out of my division finally. Like Stafford and like whenever Stafford was playing, I was always worried when we play the Lions. It's a known fact. Jared Goff sucks in the cold. Like Chicago fans can agree with me because they saw it back in 2018 and a little bit of a couple years ago. Jared Goff is a shit QB in the cold, and now he's gonna have to play at Lambeau Field once a year for his career until the Lions get rid of him. And I'm gonna love every moment of it. And I love it too because they robbed the fucking Rams, an up and coming team with Jared Goff. In my opinion, I think they messed up. They should have kept Goff, in my opinion, because Goff didn't play bad against Green Bay too, with a broken thumb. Like Goff showed some up. I love how they just abandoned him like that. And I love how they gave the Lions all that pick because the Lions bust. The picks, they're bust. Like their careers are always wasted, and half of their picks are draft busts. So that's why I love it for both teams.
Okay, let me say this here. Be Christian,
Mm-hmm.
you're a bitch. Um, I honestly think the Rams won this trade.
Wow.
Really?
Mhm.
Wow.
For the simple fact that they're getting a quarterback who is literally he literally can be named the comeback king. This man is this man has I believe 50, like more than a 50% chance of always coming back. I mean clutch quarters, being clutch in the fourth quarter. Mm, you never know, and especially with the wide receivers that he has right now with Cooper Cup and Robert Woods,
Robert Woods.
and you've got a good running game with Akers, who's just still young, and then you got a good tight end with Higbee, and you got a defense like that with Aaron Donald. Holy
Mm-hmm.
shit, bro! In my opinion, that makes them Super Bowl contenders
Mm-hmm.
right there with that one pick. And look, they give two first round picks for next year, not this year's draft, next year's, and the year after that. Look at it this way: the Rams, they have 3 years. That's all they have left. They have left 3 years, and when they're done with that, they'll be ready
Rebuild.
to rebuild in the 3 years. They're boomer bust for the next 3 years, and I honestly think that the Rams made a great trade right here, giving up those two first round picks because I mean. Their first only good pick was Aaron Donald. They haven't had any really good success in the first
Yeah.
round. What's the point in keeping those first round picks when you can get a generational talent like Matthew Stafford? And I honestly think the the Lions won too because you get two first round picks as well. Come on, and then be Christian, you're a bitch for saying that they always draft bust. You're just being put in a situation like you're being put in Detroit, where it's literally the worst city in America. You can't really hate. players for being bust out there when you got nothing out there. And I really
Yeah.
love their coach. Their coach, that motherfucker got a killer
He
mentality.
did.
Literally,
I
literally, he has
was
a killer mentality. And what they got over there, I honestly think they're gonna do good. Not 6-10 at most in the next 3 years. Probably their high would probably be 8-8 if anything. And I
Mm-hmm.
really think it was a good trade for both teams because look at if for the you got to look at it the Lions standpoint. The Rams, they're boom or bust. They could boom this first year, you get a good draft pick, and you can get a good draft pick the next year or even the year after that. And
Mm-hmm.
with the Rams, you could win a Super Bowl. You literally have a quarterback who could win a Super Bowl. You also got to look at
yeah.
this. Matthew Stafford isn't getting appreciated enough to the point where he took the Lions team. Well, the only time he ever had a run game, he finally went to the playoffs. And now that
Mm-hmm.
he has an established running game with wide receivers and a defense, this man is going to be a threat to the NFC West and to the NFC in general and the NFL because this guy has not had what he's never had a true a team around him. Maybe that 2016 team when they lost to
Mm-hmm.
Seattle, but still, Detroit's here. I mean, not Detroit. I'm sorry. The Rams are here. They're going to be a contender for the Super Bowl, in my opinion. We'll
Uh,
have to see. And I think the Rams really won this trade.
okay. I see it, but 3 first-round picks, that's huge. Especially, I think this draft class too is like you could have gotten Mac Jones. Like I would not have given up a pick for this year.
They didn't give up a pick for this
Oh,
year.
well, there's still some young quarterbacks coming out of college coming up that they're gonna miss out on who could have developed under Stafford, one of the best QB in our like talent wise we've seen.
Well, the Lions still have their first round pick this year, and the Rams do too. So they can still get a quarterback if they want to.
The Rams
Mm-hmm.
have one for this year.
Yes, they don't. They lose their 2022 and the
Oh,
2023.
I thought they got rid of this year's.
No.
I was thinking of the 2022 one. My bad. My bad.
All right, but and you guys want to talk anything else about this?
Well, other than that, I want to touch on a little bit. And this is gonna affect only Eagles and Bears fans.
Oh,
And
Only
okay.
kind of
Eagles
me. And
fans.
kind of me. Get my wrap up.
If the Bears are the front runners for Carson Wentz trade, listen. If you guys get Carson Wentz, I believe Carson Wentz is way better than Trubisky, and I kind of want Carson Wentz to stay because I think he is better than Jalen Hurts, but that's neither here nor there. Listen, Bears fans, Carson Wentz better be used in Matt Nagy's system because y'all had a mobile quarterback in Trubisky who y'all didn't use correctly. Carson Wentz is another guy who can use his legs and be mobile. If you guys are going to trade for Carson Wentz, use him correctly. And if Carson Wentz goes to the Colts, all I'm gonna say is they might go to the AFC title, not win it, but go there because Carson Wentz literally won a Super Bowl with head coach Frank Reich, and if he reunites with him in Indianapolis, along with Press Taylor, who Carson Wentz had some good years under, uh, the Colts will be a good team. So that's all I wanted to say about that situation.
I want to say this too about it. MG, you're forgetting about one big thing. The Bears are
Mm-hmm.
gonna have to deal with what you dealt with. Foles versus
Foles,
Wentz.
unless they trade him back to us for that in that package, which
I,
I don't
I, don't-
think so.
I don't think you guys would because you guys are screwed at cap right now, and Foles would kill
Mm-hmm.
you even more. So I don't think you guys. I think guys would just take picks. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you cannot afford anyone. Maybe it's someone like a Mooney who's cheap or something. Like that's all I could see.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Like you guys cannot afford anyone. That's why I don't think you guys will go. I don't think you guys will go after the Bears either. Because yes, you could get probably 2 first round picks. The Bears will love giving them away, but I don't see the Bears going after him because I think they're gonna like Pace and Nagy. They're on the hot seat. I think what they're gonna
Yeah.
do is they don't want to give up picks because those picks could go to a new replacement for Anthony Miller and Avron because they'll probably
Mm-hmm.
walk and they're gonna need a wideout too. And
Mm-hmm.
I think they'll go after like a Jameis Winston type player in free agency.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I see that. And then what they'll do after is they'll get a wideout for them, use Montgomery more, and then I think that's what they'll do. I don't see them drafting because drafting a QB is a project, not a like win now type, unless it's Trevor Lawrence. Like if it's Trevor Lawrence, that like if somehow you trade up to one, then do it. If not, don't.
Um, I want MG. So do you
Yeah.
would you like to? What would you want if the Bears do want fucking Wentz?
Well, I don't see us getting much from him, but because you said something interesting, if we can get potentially Darnell Mooney, I will take that. I will take Darnell Mooney after the
Oh, I
season he
don't think
had.
they're gonna give up Darnell Mooney for the simple fact is then because what's his name Allen Robinson is most likely not going to be there.
Gonna
Why
leave, yeah.
why would they want to give up their only one receiver
Hmm.
if
Because
that were to
of
happen?
I think they would because of how stacked this draft class is. Though, if you look
For
at it,
receiver.
I mean, no free agency, because you could replace a Rob a
Kenny
with
Galladay?
Kenny Galladay, Juju. Even I'm not saying they should like this class runs deep like this free
Mhm.
agency, and you still got people to replace Anthony Miller, Curtis Samuel, Corey Davis, two players I want Green
Hmm.
Bay to go after. More will be in a video coming up, but
Will Fuller potentially in
Will Fuller,
trades.
yeah, like Will Fuller is a free agent by the way.
Okay, so yeah, that works.
So I see them going after a replacement, and they'll be like, "Hey, we'll trade you Mooney just to get our franchise guy, so we can win." I think Marvin Jones is also a free agent, so maybe they could bring in Jones and Galladay too. That's why I would not take Mooney out of the trade block. Totally.
Mhm.
I don't think they're gonna give up Mooney. I think they're probably gonna reject that offer. If you guys
I
want
don't know.
Mooney,
The Bears
I
would
heard
be
from
the
a
one
source.
making the offer. The Bears would be.
I heard a source today. All right, and this is I don't know how true this is, but I heard that the Eagles were telling teams they wanted 2 firsts and a player for once, and the Bears was listening to that offer. I'm not saying that's true, but if the Bears are willing to give up 2 first round picks for once, they definitely be willing to give up Mooney for once,
Yeah.
who they didn't draft in the first round.
And
But who knows?
they could also. I also see them going. Might give you Jalen Johnson because of how deep this cornerback draft is.
Hmm.
If not Mooney, Jalen Johnson. I think you guys would want someone cheap. I don't think you guys would want like a Khalil Mack type player, like expensive, or
No,
Roquan
no, no,
Smith's
no,
coming
no.
up expensive. You guys want to take a
Yeah.
Mooney who you can get 2 to 3 years out of cheap.
well, if you're talking Roquan Smith, I actually think that'd be even better
But
because they need a linebacker.
they
They
do.
still need a linebacker. They could draft a wide receiver instead, and they could, or they could even do vice versa. Don't get Darnell Mooney. Let's say they do, and get Micah Parson.
Yeah, that's I was just about to mention that because if you think about it, the, Roquan Smith's contract is coming up, I believe, in 2 to 3 years, I believe, and he's going to be asking a shit ton because how he's playing. He's going to be
Hmm.
expensive, and the Eagles don't have the money for it. But they could get a Michael Parsons in the draft and have a Mooney for 4 years while they clear out the cap.
We'll see.
We'll
We're gonna
see.
have to see for that.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to touch on one more thing.
Hmm.
Aaron Jones being interested in these teams.
Mm-hmm.
The Niners are one of the few teams to be interested in Aaron Jones, the Bears included. And I would love to see Aaron Jones in this running back system that we have here. Imagine him with Raheem Mostert and with Jeff Wilson Jr. and Jermichael Hasty. I think that's going to be great. That's going to take off a lot of stress off of Garoppolo. As
Hmm.
honest, well, even though Garoppolo doesn't really have to do much, but that gives him even more stress off of him. Especially that you could use Aaron Jones in the
Yeah.
passing game. Oh no, mamas, that's gonna be this should be so good, bro.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I think Aaron Jones will be a good fit for you, to be honest.
and Alex Mack, the center well, he's a free agent this
Okay.
season is for the Falcons is interested in joining back with Kyle Shanahan. Imagine him right there too. even him being old, he's still good at his
He's
age.
good.
And we
Yeah.
could get rid of Richburg and get a couple $1 million in cap space back. And he's gonna Alex Mack is not gonna be expensive either. So I honestly think we should try to pursue at least those two guys, in my
Hmm.
opinion. But knowing the Niners were probably just gonna get Alex Mack, or
Yeah.
not even none.
I want to say this about Aaron Jones. You mentioned some teams. I know earlier you were talking. You were mentioning like the Jets. I think were the Bengals on there. Like
No.
Yeah.
you're
No,
mentioning
the Jets
teams.
and Bears.
Jets, Bears, and then there are a couple other.
Bears.
You mentioned
Niners.
the
Yeah.
Niners. I think he'll be. I said this after our loss. I think Aaron Jones is going to the Jets. I'm 99% sure he's not coming back to Green Bay. I know the two sides are still negotiating a contract. I don't think that'll happen. I think that's at unless what happens with the NFL, the rumors going around about teams getting 150K, which will save the
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Eagles that could pay for Aaron Jones. I think that's gonna not happen, and we're gonna go with Jamal Williams. If not Williams, draft a wide. I mean, running back in the fourth to fifth round. I
All
think
right.
Aaron
So
Jones is not a Packer, and I think he'll be a good fit in the Jets.
here's the rumor. Packers running back Aaron Jones is expected to receive heavy interest from the Dolphins, Niners, Steelers, and the Bears.
Okay, I would not mind him in the Steelers either. With that offense, Big Ben getting old, that will take the workload off of him. They'll have a deadly 1-2 punch with him and Connor. Is Connor a free agent?
Mm-hmm. James Conner.
Yeah.
I believe he is a free
If
agent.
he is, I would not mind us picking up James Conner to replace Jones.
Well,
He'll be cheaper. We could let Jamal walk too, pick up James Conner, and have him and AJ Dillon elusive back and a power back. I would not
Don't you
mind that.
want James Carter? What the fuck?
James Conner
he's
actually,
injury prone.
he's injury prone. Yes, I'll give you that. But when he's healthy, he's a good running back.
Like Kyle Kuzma, bro. You're gonna get like one good game out of him for the next 12 weeks.
Hmm.
I think he'll do good. I do. Like I think too much people hate on James Conner.
And one thing too that I also want to talk about. Oh, if we get Aaron Jones, I think probably in the range of 10 to 12 million
Yeah.
per year.
Mm-hmm.
It would be a good offer right there for us. We'd still have money to pay Fred the Great Warner, and then
Mm-hmm.
we'd pay fucking
Nicholas
Williams too.
Bosa.
Nicholas Bosa in a couple of years, Debolis of the Samuelist, and
Mm-hmm.
we could unlock some dribble powers in Aaron Jones.
Yeah. I think the Niners would be a good fit for him. But I want it no, because fuck the Niners.
But a team that would be absolutely disgusting if he was on there, the Bears.
Nope.
Imagine him with fucking what's his name? God, I forget his name. The other running
Montgomery.
back. Imagine that 1-2 punch.
And Tariq
Oh,
Cohen.
I want
and
to say
Tariq Cohen.
this. Yeah. I know you're like obsessing with it. I don't think it will happen.
You're being biased.
No. Actually listen. They don't even use Montgomery.
Well, they actually did at the end of the season because Maggie wasn't calling the shots.
It was Bill Lazor.
But he did take over the play calling back against the Saints. They didn't do anything, and I think Nagy's going to take back the shots because of his job. He's like, oh, I want to prove to Chicago I can win. Like this is me, not my offensive coordinator.
We'll see.
And I think
We'll see.
Nagy is going to be like that. I do. I honestly do. Because he did it
Well,
against the Saints because he knew his job was safe against after he got him to the playoffs. Because it's the McCaskey. So if you win, you like if you make the playoff, you're a coach to them. This
yeah,
isn't
well,
George Hallis like that. George Hallis knew, and ever since Hallis was not the Bears owner, ever since Matt Caskey took over, that franchise has been going downhill.
and anything else we want to talk about before I say something that I've been wanting to say for a little bit?
Nope. You can
Nope.
go
All
ahead.
right.
Go for it.
Good morning, good morning, football. I forget who sent this. Give me a second. As I look
Mm-hmm.
for this,
Good
Kyle
morning, football.
Branton
Kyle
or something.
Brandit.
Branton.
Mm-hmm.
He said on Scotty Miller, he's gonna make the biggest play of the year in the Super Bowl. You know what? I hope he does. I hope this man wins the game-winning Super Bowl, goes like 95 yards to the house on the last play of the game.
You want to know what I hope actually happens? I hope it is Scotty Miller, 99 yards. As he gets in the end zone, takes off his mask, and it's really Julian Edelman in disguise. Like some Scooby Doo
What
shit.
the
I didn't know we were in Scooby Doo.
heck? Julian Edelman shows up with Brady.
It is Julian Edelman. Jesus Christ.
It's
Imagine.
secretly is.
Hey, I wouldn't be surprised though. Julian Edelman not winning a Super Bowl. If Brady wins without Edelman, it's gonna look weird because like a lot of his
is.
Super Bowls were with Edelman.
Like, I feel bad for Edelman. Gronk got out of there. Brady got out of there. Edelman stayed.
Nah, I don't feel bad for Edelman.
I do.
He could have requested a trade.
He could have, but would the
Second,
Pats do it? No.
Yes. Actually, no, because they like their white short receivers.
They do.
I
Unless
mean,
if your name's Randy
Yeah,
Moss.
like Danny,
Then,
Danny Amendola, Chris Hogan.
unless if
Yeah.
you're Randy Moss in free agency, then you're part of it.
Yeah. Well, you can't deny Randy.
You can't. No. I
Ooh,
Oh, someone really copyrighted. Thanks, MG.
I swear.
my bad.
You listen to the Jesus.
I thought I had it muted.
Anywho, I think that's a good way to end the podcast,
Yeah.
don't you think? Again, thank you guys so much. You have anything else you guys want to talk about?
I have
before sign?
I have one more thing I want to say.
Go ahead.
Out of everyone on Golden State, Martians
Oh my
have the
God.
death fiends pointed at Earth, wide open shot. I want Iguodala.
You know what? I'll take the shot. Fuck it. I'm better.
Oh yeah, we're dead.
No, you
You
cannot
might
beat the
can't
GOAT
shot.
Iguodala.
Yeah, but honestly,
No. But you know how we were talking about the greatest player in all of that, like
Mhm.
history.
Yes.
Iguodala's the greatest. Come on now.
Come on, dude.
sure, buddy. All right, whatever you say,
It's
be Christian.
facts, my guy.
Your takes are always stupid. Let's not
It's
forget about that.
facts,
But MG, want to say anything else before we go?
Yeah. Thanks for watching. Make sure y'all hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit all of our links down below.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
I also
And
have.
I know someone's watching, first time viewer. I recommended someone to the podcast. So if you're watching up until this point, yeah, we'll talk. But
Yeah.
nah, on a serious note though, anything else do I need to say? Oh, by the way, B. Christensen.
Yeah.
Would you like to do you have anything to drink next to you right now?
I do. Wait, I do.
Do you want to do what you wanted to do at the beginning of the episode?
Yeah, I got you.
They gonna have the Christian
You
muted as
ready?
we speak, guys. But anywho,
Alright,
I have
guys.
one more thing to say before we cut it.
thank you guys so
What?
much.
I want to say thank you guys so
Thank
much for
you.
watching. If you enjoyed, please hit that like, hit that sub, and we'll see y'all later. Bye.
All right, thank you so much.
Baby, I know you're watching.
Bye.
And
Bye-bye.
before we end this, piss off.
Wow.